and there's no way to keep this door open. What's going on here?
Don't worry, I'll explain everything.
The WowWee Game Jam. 3 days to make a game with the theme, Intentional Bugs. Luckily, I'm really good at making games with a lot of bugs in them, so let's do it. Okay, idea. Need some kind of idea. I have been really wanting to make a 3D puzzle game in the style of Portal. And what better time to try it than during a game jam? So the idea then is a 3D first-person puzzle game where you use glitches and bugs to solve each level. So I started up a new Unity project and set up the basics. We'll need a first-person character controller, and we can actually reuse code we've already written. So, done. Except you can't interact with physics objects like boxes, which may be an important part of the game. But after some questionable hacky fixes, we can now sort of interact with the cubes. The scene is looking a little bland, so I made an image that could be used as a texture for the environment. And that looks not so good. After a few more attempts, I settled on a not completely awful looking gray grid thing. And next I got to work on the grab item mechanic, which will let you pick up and fling around cubes. This is actually super easy, just a little raycast, a little physics. Okay, come on. Man. After a little more struggle, I finally got it working sort of as expected. One of the intentional glitches in the game will be box jumping, where if you grab a box and hold it beneath you, you can keep jumping off of it while in the air. And this actually works without adding anything else, so we're off to a pretty good start. Just like I said, I'm great at causing bugs. Next I started working on level design using ProBuilder. I've never made 3D levels, so it started off kind of bad, with me painstakingly placing each individual wall. But eventually I decided to check out some ProBuilder tutorials, which got me on the right track, so now it won't take 3 days to build a single level. The first level will basically just have a fake wall with no colliders that the player needs to find and walk right through. And other than that, so far I just have a bunch of ideas for glitches and mechanics, so I need to stop here and actually come up with some concrete levels. So with what seems like a pretty good list, time to make them a reality. Well, I mean, like, make them in you. You know what I mean. Level 2. Here's where you see my creativity and originality really come to life. In this level, you pick up a box, put it on a button, and it opens a door. No glitches here, just an introduction to this original mechanic. In level 3, there's a higher ledge that you can't possibly jump onto, and all you have is a single box. And maybe you figured it out, but you have to use the box jump mechanic that took me so long to create to get up onto the higher platform. Continuing with level design, I started on level 4, where you have 2 doors to get through, but only one box. The solution, spoiler alert, is to use the pause bug. The idea is that pausing the game will freeze the scene, but the player will still have the ability to move around. So I started on this mechanic by meticulously handcrafting a pause button, only to realize that you can't move your cursor to click on a button in a first-person game. Devastated by this, I went to sleep. I started Saturday by making a pause menu. Luckily, I figured out that players can just press a key on their keyboard to pause the game. I just need to make it obvious enough that it's an important mechanic. Next, I started on a new level, which will have moving blocks. This took me a while to get to interact with the player correctly. I kept jumping between a regular character controller and a physics-based one, but eventually just settled on the basic controller with another script that moves you if you're on a moving platform. I won't talk too much about the bug you use for this level, because you might still want to play the game if I haven't totally ruined it already. But for those who have played, the mechanic was not one that just worked like I was hoping it would, but I had to actually write code introducing this bug. After creating 2 more levels, I laid them all out and connected them together with hallways, so you'll just have one continuous playthrough experience with no loading screens between levels. And now it's time to ramp up the graphics. We've got some point lights, added in some post-processing, generated a